Okay, this is problem 15 in the handout for chapter 9, and what this is a basic bunch of information, and then they ask you to do the payback, forget the IRR, so payback, net present value, internal rate of return, and the profitability index. Okay, so that's perfect. Okay, everything is here. So the first thing that we want to do is the payback, and we've got an investment of $3 million. Okay, the new facility will generate annual cash inflows of $500,000 a year for 10 years. So for payback, it's nice and simple. It's $3 million divided by 500,000 gives us 6 years. Okay, so that's good. So then the net present value then would be the next one we would do, and we've got a cash outflow of $3 million on day one when we what are they doing? Purchasing a summer camp, okay, for $3 million, and then every year for the next 10 years, it's $500,000 a year. So we'll go to what are they using? They're looking for an annual return of 10%. So on net present value problems, you have to look for the return that they're giving you, on like a required rate of return, it might be called. Okay, so 10% for 10 years gives us a factor of 6.145. So 500,000 times 6.145 is 3072. So there's our outflow. These are our inflows. The inflows are greater. We have a positive net present value of 72,500. So the last one then is the internal rate of return that we'll look at. And what we do is, remember, we're going to set the outflow equal to the inflow, and the inflows will be multiplied by a factor. So if you do this, we get 6.0. Now, when we go to look up the factor, we go to 10 years, and we look across here, and we don't have an actual 6.0, but we do have it between 10 and 11%. Okay, so that's a good thing, and it makes sense because the net present value at 10%, we still had a positive net present value, okay? So it means it's probably greater than 10%. With a 6% factor, we see that it's between 10 and 11%. Okay, so that's our factor between 10 and 11, and that would in fact be the answer. All right, you don't have to come up with an absolute exact number. And that is all she wrote.